This MACD strategy I'm about to show you is one of the highest win rate strategies you can possibly do in trading.
Hey, this is René, and in this video we will find out if this is actually true. So I found this video in the internet. It's a video by Trading Lab, which is a YouTube channel that talks a lot about trading strategies. This makes it easy for us to copy the strategy in the MetaTrader 5 to see if what the strategy claims to be is actually true.
This video is presented by BM Trading. Learn to code your own expert advisors. Link in the description.
And the Trading Lab channel says that this MACD trading strategy has a 86% win rate. Also in this video, everything is explained in detail and we are able to copy this exactly. There's just one problem which I will talk about later on in this video. I will also link the original video from the Trading Lab channel below in the comments. So what is this easy strategy about? We will just take the MACD indicator here and apply it on the chart. We then watch the crossing of these lines, and if the green line here crosses above the red line, then this is a buy signal for us. Also, this is very important. We only want to trade a buy signal or a buy trade if this crossing happens below the zero line here. This is very important. Same thing for short trades. If there is a crossing of the green line that drops below the red line and everything happens above the zero line, this is a short signal for us. Also, the video talks about one additional trend filter, which is a exponential moving average applied on the which is a 200 period exponential moving average. All of this happens in the daily chart in the video, so maybe we should also test it in the daily chart to verify if the statement from the video is correct. If we then enter a position, and the moving average filter works as I explained now. So we only enter buy positions if the price is currently above the moving average and sell positions if the price is below the moving average. And there's the additional MACD signal. The stop loss will then be placed above or below the moving average, depends on the direction, and we have a risk reward ratio of 1.5 to 1. But let's stop talking, let's start coding. So what we want to do is we want to go to Tools, MetaQuotes Language Editor. Next thing we do is create a new expert advisor in the upper left corner. You have to choose a name here. I will call this Trading Lab MACD and MA. And I do this for YouTube. Then I click on next, next, and finish. And this creates a brand new expert advisor for us. So what we need to do first is we need to create indicators handled so we have access to the actual indicators in our source code. So we will need a handle for the MACD and we will need a handle for the moving average. Then in the onInit function of our program, the one that is executed when the program starts, we will define these exact indicators. So we say MACD handle is equal to IMACD, which is the native function, indicator function for the MACD. And then we will apply everything to the current chart. And then we choose the inputs here. I think in the videos it was just done with the standard inputs here, which is 12, 26, and 9. So we also go with 12, 26, and 9 here. Applied price is typically price close. Then we have the handle for the moving average, which will be the IMA function to get this moving average. Periods are 200 here. There's no shift value. The mode is EMA, which is the exponential moving average. And we apply everything on the close prices of the candles again. Next thing we want to do is then get these actual indicator values. This is what we do in the onTick function, the one that is calculated with every single tick in the chart. So what we do here is we first of all have to create two arrays to store the data of the indicators in. Then what we want to do here is we want to say we first of all want to get the indicator values from the moving MACD. So we say the handle is handle MACD. then we have two lines here, and we can actually read about it in the documentation for the MACD. So we have the main line and the signal line. So let's get the main line first. Main line, and then we start at position 1 in the chart, and we get it for 2 bars. We store everything in the MACD array, but I just realized that we now need a MACD main and a MACD signal array, because we will get values for 2 lines. Then I just copy this and now also get the values for the signal line. And here, as I said, now the values for the main line will be stored in the MACD main, and for the signal line in the MACD signal array. Then next up is the normal moving average. Here we only have one line, which is the main line. And then actually we only need one value that we then store in the MA array. So there are some errors. I forgot a comma here, but that's it. So this will give us access to the actual indicator values. So what we can do next is, also, we want to make sure that this only happens once per bar. So the easiest way to make sure that this only happens once per bar is, for example, create a timestamp here, which we only update if the time of the current candle changes. So like this. So we check if timestamp is unequal time, and then we move everything inside of the body of this if statement. So everything here is just processed if the condition here is true. And the condition is only true if the timestamp variable holds a different value than the time variable. And if we enter the body of the if statement, we then update the timestamp variable to make sure that this only happens once at the beginning of a new bar. So what we do then is, and now we are almost finished actually, we just have to check for the MACD signal. So we check if the main line jumped above the signal line. And this is what we can check by checking the last 2 values here of the MACD, because this will make sure that there was the crossover. Also, what we want to do is we want to check if this happened below the 0 line. So MACD main should be below 0 and MACD signal should be below 0. If this is also true, then last but not least, we have to check the moving average filter. And here we also need the bid price, or the price of the chart. And let's also get the ask price, because we want to later then use it for the position opening, I think. So symbol info double, this will give us the ask price. And then we do the same thing for the bid price, where we want to get symbol bid here from this function. Then here we check if bid price currently above the moving average. And if this is true, then we want to execute a buy position. To execute a buy position, the easiest way to do so is to include the ctrade class like this. So here we can say ctrade, trade, create a trade object variable. And this one can now be used to open positions. So let's say trade, or first of all, actually we have to calculate the stop loss and the take profit. So what we want to do is we want to say stop loss is equal to moving average. And then, I don't know, there was in the video, there was some kind of gap also below the moving average. So this is an actual example from the video. And here the stop loss is placed a little bit below the moving average. So I assume we need some room for this gap. So what we want to do is here we want to say, for example, 100 points below the moving average. Or we could also say like 100 points below the moving average is the stop loss. You could also say, you want to say double SL is equal to MA minus, and then you say something like bid multiplied with 0.1 divided by 100. This would place the stop loss 0.1% of the price below the stop loss. So there are different options. And then the TP is very easy. It's just ask minus SL. It's ask plus ask minus SL multiplied with 1.5. So this should be the 1.5 risk reward ratio. And then finally we can use our trade object here to open a trade. Let's say we want to open 0.1 lots in the current chart symbol at the ask price because it's a buy position. Then we provide SL and TP, and that's basically it to open the buy positions. Then what we have to do next is we have to do the same stuff pretty much, but just for the sell positions. So here for the main conditions, we pretty much just turn around all of these operators here. So if there was a smaller than before, should now be a greater than. If there was a greater than before, it should now be a smaller than. So here we check if the MACD lines are above the 0 line. And then last but not least, we have to check the moving average. And here we check if the bid price is currently below this moving average. So after doing all of this, we have to calculate the stop loss for sell positions. And this is, of course, the moving average plus 100 points this time. Or also, if you want to use the other calculation, instead you can type something like this, where you just add the percentage to the moving average. And then TP is also a bit different. Here, of course, we'll have to subtract SL minus bid multiplied with 1.5. That's it. Then we just say trade sell 0.1 lots or whatever you want to use, symbol, bid, SL, TP. And then after compiling here for last time, we can now go back to our MetaTrader, open the strategy tester, which you can do here. This will open the strategy tester, and then you can go to visualize test. Here you can choose the program that you created. It's MACD. What's the name of my program here? Trading Lab. Trading Lab. MACD, MA, YouTube. Then I choose a symbol here. We can go with USD Japanese yen, for example, because I know it's a very trendy symbol. And then you can choose the time period you want to test. Let's first of all just test 2020 to 2024. I'm using the daily chart here, as it was also done in the video in the chart. But I would recommend to always go for a every tick test or every tick based on real tick. Actually, I have also the tick data for this symbol, so we can also use this. So let's use the tick data here, and then, let's just give it a go. Click on start, and this will open a separated window with a strategy test. And this is the great thing about programming, especially for the MetaTrader 5, because once you set up your program, it is so easy and comfortable to just test it over a very long period of time. So here, if I speed up the test a bit, we can see it's now simulated on historical tick data. And you can see we have the moving average down here. We have the MACD down here. We have the normal moving average up here, or the exponential moving average actually. And then, if I speed up the process, we can wait for the first signals. And there, I think we should have seen some signals already. So there must be some problem. Oh yeah, I just realized that if you trade on a daily chart, it usually happens that you get the signal during the night when the market is not open. But we can easily fix this and say we just want to open after a specific time in the day. We can, for example, say if time current is greater than time, which is again the start time of the current day pretty much, plus like 5 minutes maybe. And this should already. So now I run another test with the adjustment, and you can see now the trades are opened. We saw 2 trades so far, both of them short trades. And yeah, let's have a look at 1 or 2 examples here also. So we can see here the price was below the moving average. Also, like the main line here dropped below the signal line. So this is when we open a position. Let me fast forward so we can see also see a position in action here. Now we are above the moving average and we see a buy trade here. So yeah, you can see there's another signal. It's a buy signal now because we are above the moving average. Crossover happened below 0. And yeah, the stop loss is 100 points below the moving average and the TP is 1.5 times the stop loss distance. So now let's see if the trend can carry on. And there's another buy signal and another buy signal and another buy signal, but then all of these signals hit the take profit. And there's another buy signal. So yeah, you can see the expert advisor is doing pretty much what it should do. And if we speed up the test a bit by minimizing this window, we can see actually in a trend period, it can be very effective. And while I'm waiting for the test to finish here, let me lose also 1 or 2 more words on this video. I gotta be fair, the Trading Lab channel also says that you should do some manual analysis and figure out if there's a trendy or a sideways market. But also this is nothing that the expert advisor can do for us, because in the video there is no recommendation or idea how to objectively do this, and it says there is some subjective human interpretation needed. So this is of course nothing we can do in expert advisor, and this is also why theoretically you could improve the result also if you do this manual analysis. But yeah, this is not included in my test here, as I said. If you want to do this analysis yourself, you can do so and then activate the program only in a very trendy market or deactivate it in a not so trendy market. But we can see also without this human analysis and interpretation, the profit factor, at least for USD Japanese yen, and I said this was actually a very trendy market in the current year or the last years also. Here we saw a very good result. We saw a total of 12 trades, and the profit trades are actually 66%. So we do not really get to the 86% from this video, but also, as I said, we do not really have the human interpretation of sideways markets here. But I think the test has shown, and this is actually a bit surprising, how efficient it is in a trendy market, or how efficient it can be in a trendy market. So you can definitely make money with this strategy. And if you want to test it yourself, you can just copy the code from here and do so, and then test it in a lot of different markets and figure out if you like it. So let me show you the code one more time. It's very, very simple. We include this trade.mqh file, create 2 handles for the indicators, and then an object variable of type ctrade to open the positions. In the onInit, we initialize the handle variables with the indicators that we want to use, which are the MACD and the moving average. Then in the onTick function, we first of all check if there's a new bar, and also if the time is currently greater than the time of the daily candle plus 5 minutes. And then we calculate the MACD, or we receive the MACD values and the moving average values. We also get the current ask and bid price of the symbol, and then we also check all of the conditions, the crossover of the MACD, if it was below 0, and if the bid price is above the moving average, because then we want to open a buy position, which we do after calculating the stop loss and the TP with a risk-reward ratio of 1.5 to 1. And the same thing is also done for sell positions. Also, one more note on this here. This is, of course, only necessary if you are working on the daily chart. So, for example, you could also say if, I think, period gives us the current chart period. So if we say, period is unequal period D1, or if time current is greater than time plus 5 multiplied with 60. Because if we do it like this, we can also use it in another time frame chart, for example the H4 chart, and then we do not add like these additional 5 minutes to the candle time before we execute the signal, but instead we execute it immediately once the signal is here. And I just realized on the 4-hour chart, maybe you actually want to keep the 5 minutes, because the 4-hour chart only has also has the problem with the execution in the night time. But yeah, for any lower chart, like 5 minute, whatever, you don't really need to add these 5 minutes. And yeah, let's wait for some signals. Yeah, you can see now here we have the signals, but still I think there could be problems if the signal happens. Yeah, here it was, if it happens around midnight. But yeah, now with this tutorial, you know how to fix this. And there are other solutions, but this is just one. So yeah, I hope you liked this little insight. This was my interpretation of the best MACD trading strategy with a almost 86% win rate. Hope you liked it. I'm out. Bye.